Radovan Krejcir and his links to the local criminal underworld have graced the front page of the Star numerous times in the past, but this week he was almost killed in an attempted hit that wouldn't have looked out of place in a James Bond film. A hail of bullets were fired at the notorious Czech businessman from a remote-controlled automatic weapon built into the back of a parked car. The Star reported that the incident may be linked to a disagreement between Cape Town and Gauteng gangsters over turf. The incident has been a lead story for publications and broadcasters alike, and the Star's deputy editor, Richie, spoke on how the newspaper handled the case. Kevin, why do stories of the criminal underworld always receive so much media attention? Do South African readers have a fascination with our local mafia?
I think this is a huge story, whichever way you look at it, and the Star does huge stories extremely well. Krejcir, there are a lot of allegations around Krejcir, but the biggest, when you look at this, is you come here. Here are all the people that have been linked, that have been killed. Some are missing, some are being extradited. The key question is, what is his role in this, and why are these crimes still unsolved?
Radovan Krejcir has made the front page several times in the past, and do you think that he's considered one of South Africa's criminal icons?
I'm not in a position to say that. What I can tell you is when we heard about the story for the first time, this was just a huge story. There was a car bomb outside a shopping centre. That's all we knew. When we got there, we found him, his car, this other car that had been gerrymandered to take all manner of things. It looks like a whole bunch of something that probably came out in the 1970s and what is today Zimbabwe. Some homemade Python-esque contraption. But it's a very, very serious story. And then when we saw that, we actually started looking in at all the other links, telling the story as it is, coming in and looking at the serious aspects, picking up some of the social media which was actually saying, you know, there are theories. Did he orchestrate this himself? Then we looked further.
And you mentioned the big story treatment. How does the Star generally handle stories of this magnitude?
I think the day of a newspaper being a newspaper of record and having a little bit of everything that happened is long gone. What the Star's been famous for a long part of its 125-year history is what we call the big story treatment. To identify the story, to put a number of reporters on it, a number of photographers. In this story in particular, we had 3 photographers, a junior one on the scene and 2 very senior photographers. We looked at different aspects of the story. We had photographers, stills photographers, and we had videographers at the scene bringing all of this to the reader. And then when we do package it, it takes the entire front page with different points of entry around, and then turning to page 6 with all of this, the backstory as it's called, and then with links once again into the digital space.
Star reporter Lerato Mbangeni was the first in the newsroom to hear about the incident. So Lerato, how did you find out about this incident?
Well, I was at the photo editor's desk and I'd just been having chit-chat with her, and the office manager got a call, and because I was the closest, she was literally, hey, here's a story, and she gave it to me, and this guy's like, there's a car bomb, Bedford View, head down there. And I couldn't believe it. I just took down, I didn't even get his name, I just took his number and I was like, directions, and I went to my editor and told her. She was like, go get a photographer and run. And then we get a photographer and get a car and a driver, and then we get stuck in traffic. Now this is a car bomb, it dies as soon as you waste time. So we got stuck in traffic for about 20 minutes. And then my heart started to sink. But when we got there, we saw the gun, and we saw the gun that's in the car, and we saw the bullets, and I went into Remax and I was like, what's happening? And they're like, Radovan Krejcir, he's our neighbor and he nearly got killed.